Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Susan of SZ Atelier. Thank you so much for clicking this video. If you have not subscribed, please kindly do. Okay, in today's tutorial, we'll be making an inbuilt corset dress. To get started, I'll be needing the bodice block. Okay, so I have mine traced out here. I have the front and I also have the back. If you have not seen the video on bodice block, I'll leave the link down in the description box below. I'm going to start from the front. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do now is to extend it from the waistline to the hip line. At the center front of the bodice block, we came down by 1 cm, okay, like so. So we're going to ignore the 1 cm before taking the hip line measurement. So I'm going to start from the waist like so. I'm taking 8 inches. It depends on you, waist to hip measurement. Then, like I said, you ignore the 1 cm. Then from there, just mark your 8 inches like so. Then just square a line. Okay, so now I'm going to take the hip measurement divided by 4 on the line. Okay, I have 39 divided by 4. I'll just mark it like so. Then it's optional. You can add ease. It depends on how form fitting you want it. So I'll just add like a 1 cm. You can add 0.5. Just be creative about it. Then from there, I'll just connect from the waist to the hip line like so. The next thing to do now is to extend the that leg. Okay, so I'm going to come down from the waistline by 13 cm. That's about 5 inches. Just come down from the center like so. Then put your dot. Okay, then I'm going to square a line, the center line to the point like so. Then I'm going to connect the dart legs. All right. Then I'm going to extend the center line to form a princess line straight down to the hip line. We will be doing the same to the back. Okay, so we just mark from waist to hip line 8 inches, just the same way I did for the front. Okay, mark it like so. Then I'm going to extend the center back line downward. Okay, then on the line I'll square a line on the hip line like so. Right, then I'm going to take the hip measurement divided by 4, then plus ease, just the same way I did to the front like so. Then I'll just connect from the waistline to the hip line. Okay, so now I'm going to move to the dart. Okay, I'll extend it by 13 cm, which is about 5 inches. Put a dot, then square a line from the waist to the point. Connect the dart legs like so. Then connect the center line, square it down to the hip line. Moving back to the front, we'll be drawing the bust circle. Okay, so here I have my this is my bust point line, this is my under bust line. Okay, so the measurement from the bust point to the under bust, I have 3 inches. Okay, so I'm going to mark 3 inches all round. That will form my bust circle. Then connect the dots. Okay, this is just like a guide. Alright, so now moving to the under bust, I'm going to take half an inch on each side of the dart leg. Just mark it like so. Depends on how busted the person is. Okay, so I'll just connect in a slight curve like so. Like so. Make it natural as possible so it will not be pointy. Alright, then I'll connect from the under bust to the waist like so. Okay, so now if you follow my bodice method, I added ease while drafting. So I'm going to remove the ease. But if you did not put ease when you're drafting your bodice, there's no need to remove this. But I'm going to remove because I added then to the waist also, maybe like 0.5 is optional. But I'm not going to do much tightening because it's going to have a yoke, okay? So the ease is about 2 cm. So I'll just connect to the waist like so. Then I'll reconnect to the hip line. Okay, then I'm going to do the same to the back. 2 cm. I'm removing the ease. Alright. Then connect, okay, to the waist. Okay, so at the side, I'm going to mark like 1 cm downward. Alright, then I'll come to the dart leg. I'm going to take like 1 cm from the bust circle upward, or it depends on you how you want the cleavage to show. You can actually measure from the shoulder. Okay, let me take like 6.5 from the shoulder or 6.75. It depends on you. On one leg, then I'll measure what I have to the bust circle, then I'll mark it at the other side of the leg. Then from there, I'll mark 1/2 inch towards the center front. Then I'll do the same to the other dart leg, 1/2 inch, then 1/2 inch. I did not double the shoulder dart because of the yoke. Okay, so the 1/2 inch is going to serve as the upper tightening. So I'm going to connect it to the bust point in a slight curve line. Just connect to the bust point like so, then do the same to the other side. Now to the cup, okay, so I'm going to go in like 1 inch from the side. 1 inch, it depends on how wide you want your cup to be. So I'm marking 1 inch inward like so. Okay, making sure that it's on the 1 cm that I came down. Then I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to just draw a natural curve line to, I'll connect it to the under bust like so. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect to the 1/2 inch, okay, at the top there. Just connect to form a cup. Okay, because I want the yoke to have a sort of V shape at the center front, so I will just use my ruler to connect to the center front in a slightly curved line like so. All right, then I'm going to visualize how I want my cup to be at the front. Right, so I'm going to take like 3/4 inch from the center front, and I'll just connect like so, just to form a cup from the under bust. All right, so I have it. Okay, so we need to redraw this upper cup line. Okay, so I'm going to connect it to the side front, the 1 cm that we came down with. Okay, then just reconnect it up like so. Okay, so the first line we're going to ignore. Okay, so we just ignore this like so. So we have our new line. Then don't forget to label. It's very important to label. Okay, so we have the center front at the cup. We have the side front, and center front. Okay, so to shape the bottom now, I'm going to come to the side. I'll mark like 5 cm, about 2 inches at the side. Just put my dot. Okay, then to the center front, I usually use between 5.5 and 6 inches, because if it's more than 6 inches, most times it's not comfortable to sit because this is a dress. So I'm going to use 5.5. Okay, then I'll just put a dot there, then I'll connect it like so. Right, okay, then I'll come to the back also. I'll just mark like 2 inches at the side back. Then at the center back also I'll mark like 2 inches, then connect it. To shape the back yoke, so I'll just come down by 1 cm at the side, just like I did for the front. Okay, then I'll use my ruler, the curved side, just to connect it. You can be creative about it. You can create whatever shape you want, but this is fine by me. Okay, so now I have the yoke. All right, so the next step for me is just to label, have center back, and I have side back. So right now I'm just going to take my scissors, then cut. Okay, so right now I'm going to close the shoulder dart using my masking tape. I want to reshape the neck of the yoke. So on the width side, I'll just go in, I'll mark 1 inch. It depends on you. You can make it wider than that, but 1 inch is fine by me. Then the length also, I'm going to reshape it. I'll just draw a slightly curved line, like so. Then cut out. You can be creative about this. So now, unlike the Victorian corset, which I'm going to leave the link down, which is snatch the waist by that, okay? So in this case, we're going to snatch it at the center back. So I will just go in like 1 inch. It depends on you. You can make it wider than that, okay? So I'll just go in from the center front like 1 inch. All right, just mark it straight down, then connect with my ruler. I want to tighten the back a little, so I'll just make the dart wider a little from the waist upward, like so, just a little. All right. Okay, so measuring it, that's about 0.5 cm on each side. Okay. Don't forget to label. It is very important. Don't forget to widen the back neck also. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 inch like I did to the front. Okay, then the length also maybe like 1 inch. It depends on you. You can be creative about it. Okay, then I'm going to square a line inward like 1 inch, then connect in a curve like so. Okay, now the center dart, okay, the shoulder dart, I'm going to remove it from the armhole. I'll mark the same width. Then I'm going to ignore this the previous one. Then I'm going to reconnect now to the armhole like so. Okay, so for the fabric, I'm going to use my lining, my cotton lining. I have a crepe here, like 1 meter, that's about 1 yard. Okay, then I have my Ankara fabric, also 3 yards. Then I also have this shiny fabric which I'm going to use for my yoke. Okay, so I'm going to place my patterns on it, then cut. I'll be right back. Okay, so quickly before we cut on fabric, remember we came in at the center back by 1 inch, which we cut off. So I'm going to create like a keyhole at the back yoke. I'm going to come in by 1 inch like so. Okay, then it depends on me. I think I'll just come down by 2 inches from the next side, then I'll just create a curve from that 1 inch. I'm going to use my curvy part of the ruler. I'll just connect like so, then cut off. So I have my yoke now. Okay, here it is. I have it cut out on fabric. I added half an inch to join the panels together. Then this is the side front. To the side I added 1, then half to join the panel. Okay, this is the center back. I added half an inch around. This is the side back. I added 1 inch to the side, then half an inch. Then this is the yoke. Okay, I use this mesh as a lining. Okay, so as to turn the neck neatly. And this is the front yoke also. I also have the mesh, the nude mesh as lining. Then I have the cup cut out. Then I also have my bust pad cut out. Okay, I added the sewing allowance to the sides of the cup like so, then the other part I did not add any joining allowance to it. Okay, so now I'm going to iron interfacing to the main fabric. Okay, then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my interfacing iron on it. Okay, I'll line the main fabric. So I'm just going to join the panels together, the center front and the side front like so on both lining and the main fabric. Then I'm going to do the same to the back. I'm going to join the panels together like so. All right, then the cup also at the center, I'll just join it together like so. Okay, then the bust pad. Okay, here it is. I have you can use a zigzag stitch just to join it at the middle, or use hand needle. I have a video that I did that, which I'm going to leave down in the description box for you to watch. Then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the panels joined together. This is the front part. Okay, and I also iron open. So I'm going to keep the main fabric aside first. This is the main fabric. I'll keep it aside. Then this is the main fabric for the back. I'll put that one aside. Then this is the back lining. So I'm going to join the sides. Okay, I'll join the sides like so. Then I'll do it the same to the other side. Then iron open. I'll do the same to the main fabric, and I'll be right back. Okay, so after joining the side seam, I iron open. So now I'm going to work on with my rigging boning. Okay, so I'll just take it like so. I'm going to place it on my seam. That's the joining part like so. Okay, then I'm going to wrap the edge with my masking tape. Alright, leaving like half an inch or a little more at the top for turning, then at the bottom also leaving like half an inch or a little more for turning. So I'm going to cut. Okay, then I'm going to wrap it with my masking tape also. It's best to iron before stitching down. Alright, which I'm going to do. Then I'll place it on the seam, then I'll stitch it at the edge like so, like so. I'll put the rigging boning on all the joining parts. Then I'm also going to create another line here so that I'll have more rigging boning, because the more the structure the corset will become. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I have the same space that I have here at this side also. Then I'll just mark it straight down. Okay, all right, so I'm going to ignore the side seam because of adjustment. So I'm just going to create a line here also. also. Okay, then I'm going to put my original bone in here also. Then I want to make sure I have the same space I have here, have it at the other side. So I'm going to draw my line. So I'm going to put my original bone in on all the lines. So I have my original boning stitched down. Then I'm going to take my plastic boning now, the 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm going to round the edge like so. This original boning is going to serve as a channel for the plastic boning, so just round the edge. Okay, now I'm going to insert it into the channel like so. I'll make sure it's not coming out at the top. Okay, when it's of the same length, I'll just put my hand to stop it, then pull out like so. Then I'm going to reduce the length. Okay, then I'm going to round it again. Okay, then I'm going to push inside very well. Right, okay, so I'm going to do the same to all the channels that I have here. Here it is having double boning and looking really nice. Okay, all right, so want to work on the cup. Okay, here it is. I use my hand needle to stitch it just in a zigzag way. I'm going to leave a link down, like I said earlier, about how to unstitch your bust pad. Okay, then what I'm going to do now is just to take my fabric now, then just place it at the top, then stitch the edge like so. Okay, so I have this one stitched down already, so I'll just place it on the cup space like so, stitch it like so. Then I'm going to do the same to this other side. Then on the lining also, I'm going to stitch like so, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've joined the cup on both the main fabric and the lining. Okay, so now I want to work on the yoke. So I have it here. All right, so now I'm going to place the nude mesh and the net, the main net. Then I'm going to turn the neck by 1/2 inch. Place it like so. Okay, I'll stitch. Then at the zipper side, I'm going to sew like 1/4 inch just to turn it in a neat way. All right, then I'm going to take the front yoke. I'm going to remove the pattern from it. Okay, so I'm going to place the nude net. Okay, I'm going to place it on top, then stitch down the neck. Okay, that's all I'm going to do here. I'm going to leave the armhole because we're going to put sleeve later on. So after stitching the yoke, okay, so I'll just place it on the front like so. I'll pin it, and I'll place the other part of the front also, just pin. Then I'll do for the back also. I'll place the back yoke, I'll pin. Then the next one I'll pin. Then I'm going to place the lining on it, then just stitch by 1/2 inch at the top. I'm done stitching the yoke. Okay, so now I'll just place it like so, right side facing right side, then stitch the shoulder. I'll do the same to the other side also, right side, stitch the shoulder. But before then, I want to create a loop. Okay, so I'm going to cut strip of fabric, but I'm going to cut it in a diagonal way so it will be easy to turn. So I'll just rule a line with my ruler diagonal line like so. Then I'm going to mark 1.5 inch from the line, just mark it like so. Then I'm going to connect the point. Okay, because I'm going to need more than one strip, so from that line again I'm going to mark 1.5 inch, then connect the point also. So after cutting now, I'm going to fold it like so. Then I'm going to stitch down as close to the edge as possible. After stitching, I'm using my hand needle to turn it inside out. I don't have a loop turner. You can use whatever means you know to turn it inside out. Okay, so I'm done turning. Then I'm going to cut the thread off. At this point, I can actually cut into sizes, depends on what I want. But in this case, I'm going to use a different method. At the center back, I'm going to mark like 1/4 inch inward, like so. Okay, then from there, I'm going to create spaces to fix my loop. I'm going to use like 1 inch, 1 inch each. It depends on you. You can use more, but I'm using 1 inch. So I'll just mark it like so. I'll make sure I have space at the bottom, okay, to join the skirt later on. Okay, so now I'm going to use my pin. I'll just pick a little on the 1 inch line. Just pick towards the front a little on each line. Pick another pin. Pick a little like so. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take the loop. I'll just wrap it around the pins. Okay, the first thing, I'm going to place it at the edge like so. Then I'm going to repin. All right, then I'm going to wrap it around the edge like so. Bring it, okay, then wrap it around like so. Hope you can see and understand. All right, just do it like so. Wrap it around the pin like so, right till you get to the end. Then when you get to the end, just use your pin to hold it down also before you stitch it down. Okay, so in case the loop is not long enough, just take another loop, place it at where the first one stop, just on top of it. Then you pin it down like so. Then after pinning, just continue till you get to the end. Wrap around the pin head, then till you get to where you're stopping. Then you pin it down and cut the excess off. Then you just put your stitch at the 1/4 inch that will mark earlier towards the back. Just stitch it down like so. So after stitching the loop here, it is looking really nice. Okay, so now we want to work at the center back. We want to stitch it, so you just turn it like so, right side facing right side, then just stitch down to close the center back. Then you do the same to the other side. Then when we come back, we'll work on the skirt. Okay, so now I'm done with the center back. Okay, at this point, if you're not adding any skirt, you can turn the bottom. Okay, but I have my skirt cut out already because I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. If you don't know how to draft a skirt, I'm going to leave the link down in the description box below. But here I have my skirt here. Here I have my skirt placed on the table, both the lining and the main fabric. Now I want to shape the waistline. Remember when we were drafting the corset, we came down by 2 inches from the waist, okay, the side of the waist. Then at the center we came down by 5.5. So I have it marked right now. Then I'm going to place the top, the center. I'll set it on the 5.5. Like so. Okay, then here I'm going to mark where it's ending at the side seam. Just mark it like so. Alright, so I'm going to use my ruler to connect it. Okay, so before cutting, I'm going to add my seam allowance. I'm going to add half an inch. Just mark it like so. Like so. Alright, so now I'm going to fold, then cut it out. Okay, now I have it cut out, and I also have my back. Sorry, I reduced the back length by 2 inches off camera. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so now I'm going to place the main fabric, right side facing right side. Just place them together. Okay, so now I'm going to take it to my machine, then just stitch down at the side, stitch the side seam down like so, then do the same here also. So after stitching, I iron open, and I did the same on the lining also. Okay, so right now I'm going to take the top, so I'm going to stitch together at the waist. I'll stitch it down at the waist like so. Then I'm going to take the skirt. Alright, I'm going to notch it at the center. Just cut it a little by half an inch. Then I'm going to place it like so, center to center. I will notch the top also by half an inch. Then I'll do the same to the lining. Notch it at the center. Place everything together like so. Okay. Alright. Then I'm going to start the stitch from the center. Just sew it towards the center back, leaving this zipper opening. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same to the other side also. I'm done stitching one part. Okay, I just want to show you that notching at that center really helps a lot. You can see it's laying flat, and I have my zipper opening. So I'll do the same to the other side now. Just turn it, then stitch down. Okay, I'm done with the other side also. At this point, you can give it a good press. Okay, what I want to do now is to fix the zipper. So I'm going to take the main fabric and the main fabric, right side facing right side. I'm going to ignore the lining for now. Just place it together like so. Then I'm going to leave the zipper opening, then stitch down, and don't forget to leave your slit opening also. Then I'm going to fix the zipper, then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm done with fixing the zip on the main fabric. Then on the lining also, I left the zipper opening and also the slit opening. All right, so what I'm going to do now is to take the top like so, that zipper opening, I'm going to place it right side to right side facing the zip. Okay, then I'm going to stitch it close to the zip and stop where the opening stop, and I'm going to do the same to the other side also. All right. Okay, then I'll come to the hem. Okay, right side facing right side, and I'll stitch it down by half an inch. Right, then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm done stitching the bottom. I also stitched the slit opening a little, then I left opening to turn it inside out. So right now I'll just turn it inside out. Okay, so now at the opening I'll just push in the 1/2 inch, then I'll stitch down or tack down, depends on you. Okay, now let me just turn it inside out. And here it is. You can give it a good press, then fix whatever sleeve of your choice. Okay, here is the back, the zipper. All right, then I'm going to create like a rope to lace it. Then I'm also going to put a press button, just tack it so I can enhance the keyhole at the back. Okay, so here it is after fixing my sleeve. Okay, looking really nice. Okay, something quickly I want to tell you at the back. You can create a channel at the back to reinforce the loop. Just create it, then put your bone inside to make it strong by the time you lace it at the back. Okay, here's my sleeve. Later on I'll create a video on how I arrive at this sleeve. Looking nice. Now let's turn it to the front so that we can see how it's looking. Then I'll place it on my dress form for you to see. Here is the front view, looking really nice. I'm going to turn it to the back also so I can see it. And here is the back view. I use pin to hold the neckline. I'll put my press button later on. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up. You can also hit the notification bell so as to get notified when I upload new videos. Till I come your way again. Bye for now.